He always gets it. Always gets the little olive. Hi,
So
Lalit.
cute. Hi.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little scattered today with all the energy the way it is. I'm feeling a little scattered. I hope I don't talk like a blithering idiot. I have so many things to say today. I hope I
Oh,
can
well,
get them all out.
we'll get them all out for sure. I had a blessing today. A neighbor of mine we've only said hi. You know, when I walk my dogs and she's in her garden, I say hi. That's it. And I gave her some tubers for some plants. And her husband came over and dug them up, and he did all the work. I just said, here they are. And she sent me the most beautiful bouquet of flowers. Yeah, I only got flowers like a handful of times in my life, but what a nice gesture, right? Because they were just beautiful. Hey, Tarot,
That's
is
so
here.
funny. That's so funny you said that. Last night I said to myself, these flowers, I wish I could send this bouquet to Debra. And I said, I'm going to take a picture
And you
and
did.
send it to her. And I was just thinking, I really want to send these flowers to Debra. I wish I could. And I just took a picture to send it to you. So you got two bouquets of flowers
Yes,
in one day.
all in one day.
Wow.
That's really
But
remarkable.
I just had that feeling, God, I really wish I could send this to Debra right now. So I just took a picture.
But you know what? Hi, SR. Thanks for saying like the show. I appreciate that. You know, that's how the spirit talks to us, is they gives us impulses. So somewhere in her mind, my neighbors, I don't even know her name, and she had them delivered. It wasn't like she plopped them on my porch. It was amazing. And so that's what spirit does. It gives you an impulse and a little momentum. But it's a free choice world. Free choice world. So you can talk yourself out of those impulses for sure. And but she didn't and sent me flowers. So I really am happy. And let me say hello to a few people here coming in. Marby gets the cookie today. And I did get your donation, even though you are first to get a reading. Yeah, and you will be first to get a reading. Reverse Images is here. Hello, beautiful. I'm so glad you're here. Cynthia, she says, damn gum.
Cynthia's got a range. Cynthia's a moderator. We've got all these great moderators.
Oh, great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cynthia. And we have, I'm still looking. Oh, I had Tarot Stash is here.
Craig, Marby, SR, everyone is.
CJ. Now I'm down to Charlie. I don't know. It froze for a minute. Rose is here. Charlie is here. Michelle is here. And I do have your question starred just as an SR Tarot Stash. It's always good to see you. You're so amazing. And then Maureen. Lauren is here. Wow, it's a full house. This is great. I'm just saying, oh, this is amazing. So I got to tell you, this has been a wonderful week for me. And so I think you predicted it. Whether you did or not, I had a great week.
The luckiest week of the year, did I say?
That's what I said.
That's what I said. And you said, of the year? And I said,
of the whole year, what could ever happen? Boom, flowers. Just great. So again, for everybody, reminder, write your questions all in capital letters. No health questions, no how many kids am I going to have questions. Just some lighthearted, what's going to happen next week, general questions. Let's do that today. Let's do that. But in the beginning, we have Lalit's report on what's coming up. So here you are, Lalit.
Okay. Well, Debra, I'd like to use you for a little example of how things can go regarding astrology and your free choice and the vibrations of the week and all of these things. It's interesting to note how well, I'd like to use Debra as an example. She asked me some time ago to find a good day for her surgery. And when I looked at it, I just went, oh, I wish. And she had to do it right. She said within this period that was coming up, she wants a good day. And I was just going, oh boy, that's hard to pick a day in that period because it's not the right period for surgery. But if she just has to, we'll find the best days within this period. And I said to her, well, Debra, I really wish you didn't have to do this soon, but if you just have to, the best days would be X, Y, Z. And then it happened that the surgeon, she just couldn't do it because the surgeon didn't change something or other. And I went, oh, what a blessing that her guides and her higher self. And it's not that the stars are causing you to do something. The stars are a language that it's a correspondence. It's a synchronicity. They're in cycles that correspond to what we're living through. And it's just a language to interpret our will, our higher destiny. And it's not that they're making us do something, but it happened that Debra couldn't do the surgery that time, and I was so grateful. Then another instance she had about her book release. She wanted to do it sooner. And then it happened that when she did it, it was like the best possible time for her to do it. So her inner guidance and her spirit are giving her the urges and the things that guiding her along the way. And it's strange how these things happen, but I would like to use Donald Trump as an example of the opposite day, because I've been mentioning this for a few weeks now. If you remember, I kept saying, boy, that day of the parade is not going to be good. He really picked the worst day for him and for the energy of that week. And I'm like, boy, that is terrible. It's going to be a catastrophe. And so we're going to look at his energy and what's going on with his chart. So because the opposite thing has happened to him, because he has selected a day that is a day of chaos and violence and terrible things. So how did that happen? Well, it's in alignment with his energy that he's been putting out, that he selected this day himself. Nobody made him do it. Well, he was born this day. Let's talk about his chart, natal chart a little bit. And then we're going to talk about the chart for a little bit that happened on the full moon, a little bit about today and tomorrow, and put it all together. And I'm really have so much to say. I hope I can get it out in a coherent way, because there are so many details. And I try to avoid the gibberish of astrological gobbledygook that some people get, oh, I don't understand that. There are some things I'm just going to have to say, because for you to get the picture. So let's talk about Donald's natal chart for a brief moment. Just a couple of things. I'd like to point out that Donald, and when I talk to you guys often, the South Node comes up for the karma, past karma. This is where you're coming from, and the North Node. This is where your direction for the future. Donald Trump was born with the moon conjunct the South Node and the sun conjunct the North Node. That means he's born at an eclipse. He was born on an eclipse day, a lunar eclipse. And the lunar eclipse is with the South Node. It's a South Node event. In other words, this life that he's living is having to do with past energies that he has developed, and his karma is very, very, very strong. And it's about, you see that he's looks like he's been getting a free ride, no consequences. This is not the case, because it hasn't played out yet. So don't be concerned about that. Things are going as they should. For me, I always saw that Donald Trump, I lived in Rome for many years, and he reminds me of Emperor Caligula. Emperor Caligula was in Rome the craziest and the most out of, you know, he would do things that were so unexpected and so out of line. And he had, like, let me say, incestuous relationships. And you know, an interesting thing I learned about Emperor Caligula, his wife's name is, guess what? Melania. I'm not making that up. You can look in the history book. That's weird. That's weird. Anyway, he was born with an eclipse in Sagittarius at 20 degrees. What did we just have a day, 2 days ago? A lunation in 20 degrees of Sagittarius. The moon acts as a trigger for other things. So if you see a lunation on your south node, when you were born at the eclipse in that exact degree, I see this as a trigger for his past starting to catch up with him and to gain momentum as a snowball effect. So I think this is a really important thing that has just happened in 20 degrees of Sagittarius. Oh, it looks like you may not see the 20. I have to move this up a little bit. Let me see if I can help. Oops, it moved over there. All right. I don't know if it went up. It did not. Well, the moon is in 20, this is 20 degrees, and his moon was 21, the sun at 22, because he's born at the full moon. So looking at this event, when he was born, Uranus is conjunct his sun. Now, you know what Uranus represents? Sudden changes. Can be good ones. It can also be bad ones. Sudden changes depending on the circumstance. At the midheaven where he has it, this is power and a position in the world. And when you have Uranus there, it can show a sudden rise to power and even bigger fall from grace. I mentioned that the past couple of weeks. It's Shakespearean in nature. This is a big thing. So we've had this big lunation right near his birthday. This is something that's going to color the entire year. It's going to start going. This is showing the direction for him for the future and for the entire year. And I'd like you to notice that Uranus in his chart is at 17 degrees. And guess where Jupiter is? 17 degrees exactly. It's crazy that it was exactly correct degree, the same degree exact, 17 degrees. And Jupiter we think of as the great benefic, right? You hear that all the time. But what it really is expansion, expansive and growth. So when Jupiter is in a relationship with Uranus, you get more of the same, more of it. It's extreme. You know, more gold toilets, more gold painted on the ceiling in the White House. I mean, this is extreme. This is Jupiter in the second house of value and of gold and stuff like that. Things that you value, possessions, money. So he's the flim-flam man. Jupiter and Neptune together is in Libra in the second house is a sign of flim-flam and superficial and things that are deceptive. So you might see the card of deception in tarot cards in this way. So this is a very strong chart. And so there are two things that we can talk about. And there's another part over here, Mars on the ascendant. Now we're going to talk about this. This is the big focal point of today, and you're going to see it later. So I'd like you to notice that in his horoscope, Mars and Uranus are on the angles. Okay, so they're one at the midheaven, one on his ascendant. This governs his physical health. He is really undergoing a physical crisis, and we are not seeing it, but it is happening. And it's a very strong physical situation that is not healthy, and there's just no denying this. This is very, very strong, but we're not seeing it in public, but it is happening. You can rest assured. One other thing I'd like to mention, there are many, many things about his chart, but astrologers do this weird thing where they look at a lot of weird things, but they look at one planet and you say, what disposits it? For example, Mars is in Leo. This is the planet of bullying and aggressive energy, of violent temperament, and Pluto is nearby in 12th house. This is the place of the mob, of the mafia and underhanded things. And this is backstabbing people. He did that with Jeffrey Epstein. That was what caused the end of their relationship. He did a really underhanded thing in a real estate deal that he was supposed to be helping Jeffrey and he buy a house, and he instead got some money from some Russians, paid to buy the house, and he made $100 million on the deal. Unless Jeffrey lost the house that he wanted to buy, and that was a big part of their falling out. So I think that Epstein stuff, we're not here at the end of it, because this is something hidden is about to come out in that. So we're going to talk about this Mars and Uranus thing is the center of what's happening with him right now. So let's see if I everything resolves to Venus in his horoscope. Notice that he has Venus and Saturn conjunct. I'm clicking on it so you can see it. This thing is in the way. Excuse me, to get rid of this thing. Venus and Saturn are conjunct, and Mercury is also in Cancer. But astrologers do this weird thing where they look at a planet and they say, what house is it in? Like Venus is in Cancer, ruled by the moon. So you look to the moon and you say the moon is in Sagittarius. That's ruled by Jupiter. Where is Jupiter? Jupiter's over here, ruled by Venus. Oh, we got back to Venus again. And if you do that with the planets in his chart, it always ends up at Venus. Whatever planet you start at, you end at Venus, and it's a dead end there. And it's Venus is conjunct Saturn. And you know how if people have been saying for years, a woman is going to get him. Well, I think we have to go more than a woman, but divine feminine. So the divine feminine is the counter energy of what he is, that masculine, the Mars and Pluto and Uranus, all very masculine energies. And it's whatever you put out in life comes back to you. So this is a divine law. It cannot be, is never broken. It always works out that if you put out something, it comes back to you. You cannot escape that, because this is the nature of how our world functions. It's a law, and we don't know exactly when, but whatever you put out, you get back. So he's not putting out love, generosity, kindness, compassion, love. It's all Mars and Uranus in the bullying Leo, Mars and Leo with Uranus square. It's all very negative, let me say, hurtful of people. He doesn't have any friends in life, and he's always doing bad things to people, and he's out for vengeance. That's his number one thing, vengeance. So it's the divine feminine is the opposite of this. And so that power is his undoing. And it's about to hit him in a very strange way, because this chart is just so intense. There are so many things to say that I've given you a snippet of things. Let's see if there's anything really. So he has these little groupings of things, that are very intense and very powerful. So he does everything to the extreme. And it has so far in his life been all looking like a rose garden, but it's not going to be ending that way. And this is the turning point, and things are going in a different direction now. I'd like to talk about the parade tomorrow, and I did a little chart for the parade so you can see something here. But let me hold this up so that you get so that it isn't too confusing. I wrote a synopsis on this chart. So tomorrow, for the parade time, and I cast a chart for the exact time of the parade, Mars is in 28 degrees of Leo. And guess what? Uranus is in 28 degrees of Taurus. This is that same thing that way back when we started this group, there was a day that we had the same energy, and I told Debra about it before I started talking. She said, "You can't say that. That's so violent. You can't say that on this channel. We have to be positive." Well, this is an indication that, I'm sorry, I can't really gloss over it too much because it's a square. And it's in fixed signs with Pluto and the moon conjunct also in Aquarius. These are all fixed signs. And if you have planets that are square in fixed signs, that's trouble. And there's no denying it. And it's a worldwide event. And we see some things happening on the world stage that are indicative of this. And I'm not making it up. I mean, we're looking at the Mideast now, and this is exactly the if I were to make a symbol of that kind of thing that's going on, this is it. Mars in Uranus in fixed signs in the exact same degree. The moon is conjunct Pluto. These are underhanded, dangerous things, and this is the energy of the parade tomorrow. And it's been, these planets are in this position right now, and they were also yesterday. I made a chart for the parade. So here is the parade. Excuse me. I have Trump back again. There is the parade. Okay. So Mars in 28 degrees of Leo, right up there at the midheaven, and Uranus over here in 28 degrees of Taurus. Well, this is a blow up in relationships and in treaties and underhanded things that are going on, and it's a very serious situation. So I think that the moon is a trigger for this, hitting Pluto over here. So we have a few days to go through here that are really going to change the destiny of Trump and change the destiny of some countries that are participating in violence. So it's very significant. And let's see. At the parade time, there are a bunch of negative things. The sun is exactly square Saturn. So by now the square is an energy that shows challenge and difficulty. Saturn is in Aries, where it's not happy, conjunct Neptune. These are hidden things, hidden agendas, underhanded things that are going on, and it's square to the sun. So the sun is both square Saturn and Neptune, and Venus is square the moon. It's not a really good time for pleasant trees in terms of speaking and meeting with people. So just be on your guard, that take things with a grain of salt, because there are going to be a lot of feathers ruffled. The moon is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto is square to Venus. So these are troubled waters, and people will have ruffled feathers, and countries will have ruffled feathers and troubled waters. There's no getting around that. It's not a good day for a military parade. Uranus is square Mars, just like it is in Trump's chart, except they're reversed angles. Mars is at the top, Uranus is in the corner. So it's going to be very difficult for relationships for him. And he's going to be very upset when he sees the demonstrations around the country, because he's going to see people looking at him negatively. And that's the one thing he cannot stand. He wants to be worshipped, idolized, and he is going to see how much people do not like him in the demonstrations that are going to be happening. Mars is also square the ascendant. This is the time of the chart. The time is 6:30 p.m. tomorrow at Washington, D.C. This is not a good place to be. So he's going to be very, very unhappy. And it is like this is the beginning of the end. So now I would like to show one more thing, and it will only take a minute, but I'm going to put all that together. So here, back to Trump's natal chart. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the thing tomorrow in relationship to his chart. Oh, I want to put on the other wheel. Just a minute here. Yikes. I had it set for another wheel that we could see better. Okay. Let me change the wheel style. I had it set better so you could see it better. Okay. There. That's more clear. So this is Trump's chart. Shoot. I'm sorry. All right. I get that one back. I had it set up before class, before our show started, and it's hidden somewhere. So let me get it back. All right. We're going to say, okay. So there we're keeping it. And now you see, here is Trump's Uranus at the top and Mars on his ascendant. Now we're going to set it for tomorrow at the parade on the outside, so you can see it in motion. And we'll set it, this is going to come out today, and then we'll move it to tomorrow so you can see the whole thing. So here is his Uranus at birth, and Uranus tomorrow is right there on top of his midheaven. This is the beginning of his downfall in a serious way. Mars at his birth is at his ascendant. Where is it now? Right on top of it. Right on top of it. I mean, there are so many correlations here, and Pluto and the moon are together in Aquarius, and these are fixed signs of a stubborn mentality, a person who's set in their ways, not going to change for anything. He is going to be very the worse it looks for him, the harder he's going to shout out. And all of his Gemini influence, Mercury and Uranus, is all going to cause him to just be blabbing at the mouth in a furious manner that is just going to be uncontained, and it's just not looking good for him. This is a serious moment for him. And when historians go back and write the history of his whole thing, they're going to say, this was the period in which his fate was, they said in Roman times, the die is cast, where he has picked this day to have this parade, and he's picked the worst possible moment. And this is showing that the die is cast for him, and it's going to be a very explosive moment tomorrow, and it's not looking good. So, and the world situation is a lot tenuous too. Now, I have to say, the main point of this discussion here is for you, all of you folks here, I know everyone who's watching this, is you are light bearers, and you are the people who have chosen. I ask myself, boy, I must be crazy to have chosen to be here at this time. But we're needed here to have an appropriate response to this energy, because it's not what happens around you, but how you react to it emotionally that is important in your own life and your job, which is to be here bringing light to this moment of darkness on planet Earth. So you must not react with violence and negativity in any way, but say, we are here to show that contrast between people who are mean to immigrants and people of color and children that are starving around the world. We don't want that. We choose to have a life, a planet that is built on compassion, kindness, and love. The divine feminine, the opposite of what we're going to see tomorrow. So you have to focus on the divine feminine, and that has nothing to do with gender. It means that you are sensitive, you are kind, you're loving, you're nurturing. So you have to do the best that you can do for the world. The only thing you can do, because you can't control what the other people are doing, so you can't let that ruffle your feathers. You must be centered. You must do your meditations and concentrate on compassion and love. I'm having trouble with that. I look at my kitties and I realize these are creatures of complete unconditional love. And if you have love, gratitude from the heart center, focus on anything that gets you into your happy place. Where are you most happy? Think of the things that make you most satisfied, your highest goals, the things you love most, and the things for which you are most grateful. Hang on to those like a lifeline now. Someone has, someone has thrown you a lifeline to the life, what do they call those things that you throw in over a cruise ship, the tube thing that saves you. I forget what it's called. But someone's throwing you that. It's the light that comes out of your heart with gratitude and love. Those are the energies of divine feminine that are contrary to what we're going to see tomorrow. We need to build that up. And only you can do it. So that's why you're here. It's an important job. So focus on love, compassion, and we have no control over the tanks that we're going to see going down the street. So do your part in the love and compassion area, and any way that you can contribute to that is positive. So I hope that it came out in a way that made sense.
Wait a minute. Let me find you. Hi.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
I think that made sense. Now, do you have more?
Do I have more? I don't know. I'm so overwhelmed by that. I look at that and it's like getting hit with too much all at once, and it makes it hard for me to explain because there are so many facets, and I think I got most of them.
It's going to be a show.
It's going to be a show.
Yes,
a shit show, a dumpster fire. It's a shit show.
I'm going to be here clapping and cheering because it's one more opportunity for Mega to choose differently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I know there are demonstrations in every place. I actually looked it up a few weeks ago in Las Vegas. I live in Henderson, and they're having one at the federal courthouse, and I know right where that is. And I'm thinking about it, and it's going to be 105 degrees and hot in all ways. So I don't think I'm going to go over there, but follow your heart in those.
So we have Denise Fletcher now tomorrow.
No King March. Yeah, that's what it's called. No King.
Yeah. She's tomorrow. She'll be filming live in her small town of No King March. Please help me feel confident enough to be a winner so we can celebrate popcorn. Get the popcorn. So I suggest somewhere on your shirt or jacket, you put some masking tape and write press on it. If nothing else, it'll help you.
And don't put it right here in the boob area.
Of course.
I'm kidding, because you say press. That's a joke. I want to lighten up some humor. Sometimes stupid things that was not even a funny joke.
This is important.
Little laughing. Laughing is another. Compassion, laughing, kindness, love can all raise your vibration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to encourage you to do it. Stay on the edges.
Oh, yes.
And I'd like you, I know this about you, Denise, is that you are in tune with higher octaves. And so you'll be given an impulse to move closer or farther away, or to speak or not to speak, and let the pictures speak for you. So bravo on that. I appreciate that.
You are a winner just doing that.
Yeah,
you are a winner. You are a winner. And it's so important that everyone can contribute whatever you can. And you're in a small town that people know each other, so there's going to be probably more coherence. You have a lot of friends and loved ones that can support you, and so everyone.
Maria,
federal buildings. Yeah.
Maureen says, "Do not go near the federal building."
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. That's right, where they're having it here.
But we'll have a sense of, I mean, the people watching this, I think, because I've been in aggressive, peaceful marches, defiant, peaceful marches. And if I was to go, it would not be that. I'd be feel fine just on the edges with my little sign, because tear gas is for the young. So,
Oh my God! Don't even mention it. Oh,
I know
absolutely.
you had a problem with that.
I have
See,
serious
I've had a problem.
stories with that.
See, that's I hate to bring that up, but nonetheless, you're going to know when to walk forward, when to walk backwards. But I'm with you. I think not going through that.
I like to bring up the same thing about Mother Teresa and what she said when she was asked to join an anti-war march, and Mother Teresa said, "I will not participate in the anti-war march because it has to do with war and fighting, and I will participate in a pro-peace march."
Yeah.
So
she's in a very Denise is in a very red area, and is this right, Denise? It's at Denise Fletcher Tarot is your channels that would be live. Just give us a shout that that's the right. And so everybody go to her channel.
You're going to be streaming it live?
Yeah, she's going to be streaming it live. So I'm very interested in that. Now, Denise, I don't know, Denise, would you tell us what city and what time? So, because we're all in different times.
And your channel is if I go to at Denise Fletcher Tarot, I will find you?
That's what I believe so, yes.
Okay, I'll be there.
Maureen, my girl. Tear gas isn't fun. I was sick for 3 days. Yep.
What time does it start, Denise? And could you give us a specific time or Eastern time? Denise Fletcher Tarot. Okay. What time are you going to be doing that?
Okay, here it is. West Branch, Michigan, 12 noon. So that would be 9 a.m. here, right? On the Pacific.
That's way before the parade. That's your event. Good.
I've been drinking my coffee and watching my girl.
I got it. I'll be there.
That's awesome. Bravo. Well, we have some time. We've got about 20 minutes.
I have to be teaching at 9:30, but I can start. I'll be there when you start.
Yeah. Awesome. We need to come back to our little room here and get down to the good people that are here with Grow Your Light and Astrology Vibrations. Yes.
I want to say one more thing to bring it around. When we began this group, I was showing you the pictures. Remember Mars, Pluto, Mars, Uranus. We were looking at them in the sky and saying, we've got an event that happens several times. And the last time that the same event occurs is the culmination. Well, this is it. And some of those other events included Election Day, inauguration, the day of the New Year's Eve when they had those bombs exploding, and then we had the last one was around inauguration, and this is the last one of this cycle, and it's the culmination of when we are entering final phase.
This is wait. This is the last one of the cycle.
Of those events, because the planets went back, forward, and backward, and they touched in the same place. Cycle? The relationship where we have Mars and Uranus in that square, and we have these exact same things.
So in other words,
well, it's different. This happened because they went backwards and forwards. They went retrograde. So it wasn't the circle. It wasn't a full circle. It was the initial conjunction, backwards, forwards, and now it's moving away.
For the rest of the year.
This is like the culmination of that energy, and it's like a resolution in a certain way of it,
Okay.
because it's a building. This is the last one. Finally, good riddance, because we had to deal with 4 of those guys. Too many. One was too many. This is the 4th and final event.
We'll get through this. Now
We'll get through it.
We've got to get to work because we only have 15
Okay.
minutes to do 13 readings. So let's get busy.
Okay.
So Marby, thank you for getting the cookie. You're always the first one. You want a general reading? I've got a major card out here. As you know, I do general readings. The first card out Spirit tells me what topic. And that's we're going to work on for the following week. Your energy signature is regarding spirit. So it feels like that Spirit wants you to know that they're more in charge than you think. Now, I know that they don't make choices for you, but it feels like your choices, whether you lose sleep around your decisions or not, are fine. So I still see that I get this a lot. It's the 9 of Swords, and that's where you're losing sleep, all those swords. But it's all in your head. Your no stinking thinking comes around and keeps you awake. But they're saying, don't regret. This is a reverse 5 of Cups. Upright is guilt and remorse. They're saying, don't regret whatever choices you're on. You cannot see the horizon with the 3 of Wands reverse, and that's okay. This is when you need faith, but you have the Sun card as well. So understand that worrying really, really, really hard about a big thing doesn't help, or it doesn't hinder. The only thing it does is keep you miserable. So it's not like worrying enough is going to make it all right. So I'm going to bless you and leave you with that. What'd you get?
I get 3 cards. The first 2 are really ruled by Jupiter, and your inner nature, you're really a person who has a very pure heart. You got the 9 of Cups here, and the happiness, and you have a beautiful, beautiful heart. You have Jupiter in Leo here, so this is the 6 of Wands, so it's very much going forth with energy that's really pushing forward there. And it is a card of victory in the end. And this is going forth, Ace of Swords, something new about to start for you.
That's kind of nice.
Ace of Swords. So you're gonna, this is so you have what it takes.
Hey, there we go. We got CJ. May I ask a general for the week? First card out is Cups. So I'm going to talk about your emotions. Spirit is saying, oh, maybe you're not very grounded. I've got the Emperor card reversed, but not very grounded in the here and now, as far as the cement and the forest and that kind of stuff. But I do see you smart as a whip with things coming around. So it looks like you need to pay attention to something. So that's the only caution I have. And this is regarding your emotions. So do not, this week coming up, do not think that a strong emotion, one direction or another, is your intuition. So it's very dangerous to think, well, I feel that this is the right choice. I feel this. I'm moving away from this person because I'm so angry. I feel angry. Those are off the table next week. You don't play with those rules, because if you bring out your emotions to make your decisions, you will get a tower event. So as it stands now, it looks like you may do that because the tower came in upright. So now you know how to get around it. There you go.
You've been going on emotions, and we got 2 Venus ruled cards here for you. One is the Empress, and you're pregnant with possibilities. There are all sorts of things boiling in your pot. But I would say here, because we have the Page of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles, and I'm probably not going to read this exactly as Debra, but I'm going to say you have to really weigh what you are valuing right now. What is really to measure? What is really important to you? So you have to weigh that choice carefully.
Great. That is a great message. We've got Cynthia. Issues. I love that. She's so direct. Issue. I am 70 and I am to travel to see my grandkids. And then says, please read on this for me. And so I think I have the right thing. The thing is that 70 is the new 50 as I get closer to 70.
You bet.
So I got to tell you, girl, you can do anything. But I do have here, excuse me, I got a hiccup. I do have here this message, and that is stick with the plane. It looks like you are already at the arrival in your mind, imagining how things are going to happen. And so that will make for a very anxious time, because you won't know if your predictions are correct in the scenarios in your mind until you land. And either you're very happy that you predicted what was going on, or you're really disappointed that things aren't going well or whatever. So it's important for you to just enjoy the plane ride, or the however you're traveling, and enjoy it. And don't try, and nobody's ever crossed a bridge before they've come to it. And so make sure you remind yourself of that as your mind goes into the scenario, what is going to happen. So enjoy the journey is the message.
Well, I think I got the same message here, because we have the Knight of Cups representing you sallying forth. You are a very strong knight, and it is emotional based. So you really have love and kindness and generosity in your heart is the basis of your operation. Hey, you can't control what other people do, but you have controlled that, and you have the right instinct. You have love in your heart and kindness. And if everyone might not be on the same page, you're a little bit worried about whether things are going to work out right, but you've been diligent, you've done your work, you've done everything you can do. So let it go and enjoy yourself, because you've done everything possible, and you have the right heart, and you have love.
Michelle says, I'd love a general reading for the rest of the summer. I'm not going to do the whole summer, because there's so much information that I get when people ask that framed question. So I'm going to go 1 week, because we're a weekly show. So I'm going to just see what's queuing up next week. And what that will give you is the idea of, if everything stays the same, like all your choices are the same, whether it'll be positive or challenging. So that's what it seems to be. It looks nice. So so next week it looks there's a balancing act with the Two of Pentacles, but I'm reading this as money. So you know, Pentacles is a lot of other things. But it feels like there's a balancing act with money, and it's going to relax you emotionally into a new idea. Every ace in the deck is always good news. And we've got the Ace of Swords upright, meaning you're going to get a new idea. It's try not to talk yourself out of that new idea. If you think, oh, I think I'm going to quit my job and decorate cakes, because you binge watched all these people making cakes on YouTube, and you think I could do that. So I highly recommend that you follow your fascination, but don't quit your job. Go do the learning first. But it looks like it's a nice week coming up.
Well, mine is a little bit different, but I think it's pretty clear in the message. You are being represented by Queen of Cups. I think of Princess Diana when I see this card, with some person who your inner nature is you're an empath, very sensitive, kind, and loving, but you've got some change happening coming up. You've got a big wheel of fortune here. So this is a Jupiter wheel of fortune. So something is up. Something is up big time, and you are going to be turned from Princess Diana, who's quite meek and sweet, into the High Priestess, who's not that, who's a different kind of energy. So I think something is going to come into your life that's your real power and your real divine feminine in the shooting out.
Yeah,
rays. That is going to happen. So we're going to see the other side.
The Wheel of Fortune is always an uptick in good fortune. So that's always wonderful news. Maureen wants a general reading, and we've got a lot of major cards here. So you need to work on the spiritual, not work on it. Spend more time with spirit. That's not work. Give yourself permission. And there's a way you can calm your mind into doing it. And sure, you can do guided meditations, which I'm terrible at. And I have a hard time traditionally meditating. But I do get into that zone when I'm focused on something. And I just bought 100 new gel pens. It was on sale at Michael's. It was on sale. And I'm coloring a portion of my book with the gel pens. And boy, when you start moving into that zone, it opens you up to spirit, because your mind, your consciousness kind of separates. And so that's what spirit is asking you to do for this coming week, is to separate your mind from the big picture and concentrate on coloring a line, right? Or whatever you choose to do. That's what you would do.
I think you're going to be feeling some energies that are not settling for you, that are not really peaceful for you in your heart. You're going to be confronted with some things that you have to make sense of. And here you get two beautiful major arcana cards now. You have the World. And this is ruled by Saturn. So this is some kind of, nice. You're thinking long term, beautiful changes, and you're balancing things. You're balancing things out. With the Temperance card, you are making some important choices for a new direction in life. And you have good judgment. You have to step back and take inventory, because your world is about to change, and you can put it in a very good direction.
All right. This is
weighing things. It's Sagittarius. So you have the Saturn longevity, and you have the Sagittarius optimism and good fortune, and you're going to be balancing those two things.
Okay.
For change.
Thank you so much. So I've got SR Kish. What is happening with E romantically? Heating up a bit. Ooh, that's neat. So how I go into this reading, the four corners of this reading, she's not asking a question for herself. She's asking to know what another person is, what their impulses are, what they're feeling. So I'm going to move into E and then look through his eyes to see what he is thinking. So right now it looks, and you said romantically. So one of the things I don't have here in my lineup is cups. So I don't think that doesn't mean he doesn't like you. What it does mean is that I don't believe he marches to that drummer or listens, is moved by emotions as much. But I do see that he's a practical guy. And I think there's more blessings coming in. And it looks like I hate to think it's just this next week coming up, because I think it's more than that. But I think that he's going to be getting new ideas about you, about relationship. And will he ask you out again and again? Yes, he will. You are unique to him and familiar all at the same time. So,
well, I got the cups that you didn't get. I got the King of Cups, and I think that's showing he's practical, and he is ambitious, and he also is interested in a relationship with longevity. So he's interested in maybe the thing that you are interested in, because I think he will be giving things to you, and you are the Queen of Cups. So we got King and Queen of Cups. There's with the King and Queen of Cups. You haven't had anything this wonderful in a reading in a while. So you have something there to grow on.
Right. Right, right. Awesome, awesome. Thank you. We've got Maria, and she's wondering, what do you feel me doing or working with in the future? All right, let me just see what that. I love this. So I'm getting some pentacles. So it looks like there's going to be a stabilization of your finances, but it's not going to be right away. So as far as working goes, I do believe you go exactly what you're doing now. If it's training or if it's applying for jobs, that kind of thing, go ahead and cast your net wide. One of the things Spirit wants to tell you is this: you have everything you need. With this magician, you have everything you need except a little confidence. So, but no, you know everything. You know what to do next. Also, I've got the Justice card. So that can mean a lot of things: contracts, like employment contracts, that kind of stuff. So I believe if you're already secured in a job, I do believe there's going to be something special coming up soon. If you're not in a job right now with your career, so a blessing's coming your way.
Ditto. I get for you, your past. This card is representing your past. You have left a situation in the past that has been kind of sorrowful. You felt maybe some regret or sadness and walked away, left a situation. But here you are now with the Nine of Cups. You have everything it takes to build your new future. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles. In this deck, it is ruled by Saturn, shows longevity, stability, and look at the fruit of the bounty. You have this lady is harvesting all these things in the field that are really wonderful. So I think your future has a big harvest coming. That's long-term, Saturn in Taurus, long-term things of value that are durable, not fluffy stuff.
All right, that's great. CJ, this, I so get you, sister. He goes, yes, I know I'm picking this out of a conversation. He says, I'm kicking myself. I didn't listen to my intuition today. You know what? You don't know that. You don't know it could have been very well. If you went against your intuition, who is saying that's bad? Because when you look back on whatever is happening, so don't think that. I know we're just in our own little car here, our own little perspective here, that to think more outside the box, that would be good. Oh, God bless you. But I know how that feels, just terrible. Would like a reading for next week? Sure. That's our Denise Fletcher Tarot reading for a tarot person. This is great. So it looks like the first card out is our Pentacles. So let's talk money, tangible things. And it's also relationships. Once a relationship is matured, moves kind of away from the cups, the emotions, into definitions like you are my husband, or those contracts and things. So it looks like that's the topic, and you're moving into calmer waters with this. And it looks like there is a partner coming in, or someone who agrees with you. This is and this is if you're a female, it'd be the opposite. So or whatever it is, it balances out. And it doesn't have to be a lover. It could be your son and you finding common grounds. I know that you okay, so, and you're not going to trust it. So I think whatever's happening is going to move your son or your family or your fellow the mega people. I think some of them are going to move and start questioning. And you might be a little bit, I told you so. Are you kidding me? How long has it taken you? I think you're going to be a little bit like that, only because I have the Death card reversed, meaning they've come to an end on something. Yeah, something new is beginning, but you're not letting it go because you've been hurt, and you've been working on this for a long time. And also, you don't believe. Then I've got the moon card reversed. So since what's on our minds is the politics and your family around you, I believe there's going to be an opportunity, a crack in the wall, and on their part, just pretend you don't notice. That's going to be hard for you. It would be hard for me, but just for this week.
Got your recent past niece. You got the 10 here. 10 of Wands. Listen, this is Saturn. Anxiety, you're carrying a heavy burden. And you're carrying it the wrong way. You got it in front of you. You can't move like that. So you can adjust this load in a way that it's manageable. You're not doing that yet. This is your past. You have a very heavy heart. Saturn in Sagittarius is ruling this. So that was you in the recent past. Now you've got 10. This is a 10. Now you get another 10. Mercury in Virgo. 10. We have the 10 of Pentacles here. So this is a card not just of things and pentacles that are relating to money and things, but with Mercury in Virgo, you have communication here, and you don't want to be with Virgo nitpicking or critical. That goes toward yourself also. This is a tendency here in this astrological setting of Mercury in Virgo to be critical of the self and of others. So put that aside. Put that aside right now. And Debra said something about a new partner coming in. Are we a Knight of Cups? Could it be something? This is so. It went from a very dark recent past to something very hopeful for the future. Knight of Cups. I like that one for you.
Oh, hey, wait. Just in case. I just got back to the regular chat. FYI, tear gas, do not use water or liquid. Water activates and makes tear gas worse. They're using milk.
Milk. Yeah, I was going to say milk.
So,
oh, boy.
Pepper spray. Pepper spray, you can use water to pour over.
Man, well, how do you know which one you're getting? I don't know. That's bad. Bring a mask. Bring a mask. I don't care what they're saying. If you're not allowed to wear a mask, bring some masks. Bring more than one.
So in text messages, you're hoping you're reading it right, but it feels like I might have touched a nerve for you, Cynthia. It says, I do have control where I am concerned. And so I hope I didn't offend. I know you.
I think she's referring to what I said about how she had done her due diligence.
Okay.
And then she has to give it up now and just focus on the heart center in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Others may not have done their due diligence.
I am just.
You can't control what other people do or what other people think or the choices they make. You can only do yourself, and you've done an A+ in that. We know you have. So
I know we're going over, but this piece, Lily, I got to tell you, girl. So energetically, what's going on? I'm feeling a lot of activity in the lower chakras. Though I meditate on grass for 30 minutes, I'm feeling tired, feeling a lot tired too, resting and sleeping a lot. Please give yourself permission for that.
Peace, Lily. Mars, Uranus. What chakra do you think that is? It's red, and it's it's down there. That's the root chakra. That is what's active right now. You're sensitive to this vibration. Me too, man. I've been feeling it today. It is intense. And that is the chakra that is being bombarded by that energy, the root chakra. Yep.
My best friend is my bed. I love my bed.
Me too. I have one of those beds too. The hospital bed that goes up. I know. So if you're feeling the root chakra, and you're feeling that, then you're being sensitive to the energy that's coming, and it's what you do with that is important, not the energy itself, but how you react to it. So
That's what they say. That's what we say too. So, Illumination Portal, this is our sweet Valerie Bradshaw. Please go to her channel and like and subscribe, because you will not be sorry with her messages. She had Kaylee Gordon on today for No Fear Friday. I only saw the first part, so I need to go back in for the rest of it. But I'm sure it was just lovely. She says, "I heard the bell. I think it's Deborah's bird." Yes. So my bird.
everyone to their corners. Go to the corner.
My,
And then a wrestling match or something.
yeah. No, the thing is that my bird has started self-mutilating. I don't know what it's, and that's worse because it's the season, and here he is frustrated because I'm not his mate. He needs one. But I found that if I put a bell in there, he will attack the bell instead of himself. And so it's like he calls the police. That's him calling the police. Come here and help me. So it's tough. It's tough for him in springtime, but yeah, it's there for sure. I hope it doesn't bother anybody.
Well, I apologize that I talked so much at the beginning today. It was just,
it always works out.
There are so many things going on. The past 2 weeks I've been saying, this is a wonderful week. So
we're getting through a little sooner than, always goes over an hour, but sometimes it goes into 20 minutes. And I think there was I was wondering if I missed someone. It feels to me, I saw Craig, if you're still here, even if you're not still here, I saw your question. I didn't star it for some reason, but I remember it. And you went on a sojourn, and felt very relaxed. And is it mirrored with your spirit? And the answer is absolutely yes. And I believe what comes first, the peacefulness or the vacation, right? Because I think your higher self always has a piece about it that we can kind of bring down at any one time. But Craig, I'm so sorry I didn't get to your question, but I did remember it when I was going through. And you have such a wonderful guide team. And we are blessed to have you here and have your story. And thank you, Clara, for keeping him in good spirits. So everyone, thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, especially this weekend. Tomorrow, I guess.
Nurture yourself. Do some self healing here. Rub that energy out. This root chakra is going to be going crazy. Get that energy flowing out.
Yeah.
Do some soothing that the birdie wants. You need some too. You need some too. Do some of this. That's the help.
Call the police. Oh my God. So we will say good night, and we're here every Friday night just to have some fun and meet up with you. And we love you so much. Take good care, and we've got a big week ahead.
Good luck, everyone, tomorrow. Denise, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, Denise. Love you.